Welcome in, everybody.
Hello. What's going on, guys?
I got my timing off a little bit on the run today. You know, I try and time the run so that it ends after the run is ending about the same time the live is ending.
Yeah.
And I missed it because the run is almost done. But we'll just pull some tails out.
It'll be a nice experiment on tails, I think.
Yeah.
Be cool to kind of run those out a little further than we normally do and
throw it in the feints jar.
Fill up a feints.
Yeah. What do we got? We got between your feints and mine, we probably got like 4.5 gallons.
More.
Yeah, we'll be able to do a feints run.
More.
So what's everybody up to tonight? Let us know in the chat. Let us know in the chat if this is your first time joining our ABV live stream.
Absolutely. Drop the last 4 of your social security number while you're at it. Got
Just
some
go ahead and
Christmas shopping to do, some credit card applications to file.
Leave us your account information. Rob's in the house. Josh Golden's in the house. Scott McNeil.
Winsong says the volume is really low. Thank you, Winsong.
All right. Well,
we'll have our sound technician work on that.
Normally, I would have said, there ain't shit I can do about it now.
Yeah.
But now we got someone
There's a guy for that.
Yeah.
Instead of me just saying it, there
Adam,
actually is.
The Adam is on it probably already. So
Adam.
So tonight we are running, this is a part of the triple experiment. If you've been in the lives the last few weeks, then you know we're doing an experiment where we're taking the same batch of Shine and we're going to run it as a single pot still run, as a double distillation, and as a run and a half. And then we'll do some taste tests. We'll probably do like double blind taste tests where I don't even know which is which. Maybe we have Bailey hook up some jars with ABC.
That would be interesting.
We'll do some tasting. And yeah, because people are always asking, like, what's better? Is it better to do a double run or a single run? And there's not really a better, but there is maybe we can do some tasting and we can try and describe the differences, and that will help a beginner go, okay, well, from what they described, I'm going to try a single run or a double run. Or
it's going to be fun no matter what.
Either way.
I'm going to enjoy drinking it. I'm going to enjoy not knowing what it is. My palate is here, there, but I think, typically when we're trying stuff together, I kind of like having you to bounce stuff off of, like, hey, I'm noticing this, but I'm not sure it's not too, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So be cool.
Yeah. I'll probably have to sleep in the lazy boy that night, but,
You whip out the old army cot.
Yeah.
Look at that still back there. Did we tell them what the still is?
So the still is a 5-gallon alembic still. We've got these in the shop for sale. You can also get them at whiskeystillpro.com. Pick them up there, which is my supplier for them for the shop. And
link in my bio on TikTok too. You can go, you can use that. They're offering 10% off right now, so pretty good time of the year. They've got a lot of them on discount. If you're looking for one that's not dumb expensive, I mean, pretty cheap to get into. It's an awesome starter still, and also they're really pretty.
Yeah, this is actually the first time I've ran a 5-gallon alembic.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so good experience. Runs pretty much like the other one. The corn liquor that I'm making tastes just about the same as when I run the 10-gallon, and so those alembic stills make really good whiskey rum brandies. If that's what you're trying to make, they do a great job on it. They're very simple to run. There's nothing complicated about them. But
yeah, I like them. I like to look at them. I like to drink what comes out of the end of them. I like just being around them, being in their orbit.
Double barrel Darnell, or Daryl is in the house.
There's old double barrel Daryl. What are y'all doing?
Dizzy, Jason Acosta, Jack Longberry. Way too busy me. It's good to see y'all in the house. Thanks for coming out and hanging out with us. We're also going to be tasting the George Washington Rye that we have aging. I'd have to look at it to see how long it's been aging. Look, oh, that's not it. I'll go grab it. That's the
that's a breakfast cereal.
That's the
Which
breakfast. I didn't bring the other one.
Probably
over.
maybe more excited about.
Really good. Yeah, 9/3/24. The George Washington Rye has been aging, so that's 2.5 months ish.
Yep.
So we're going to taste those, and then we're also going to test out the whiskey smoker. Play around with that and see how that does.
Also, guys, we're live for the first time on a few different platforms at the same time, so we can see some chats that maybe not all of you can see, so we'll be just bouncing back and forth and answering those as they come up. But it's cool to see everyone getting in here. Hi, hello, hey, hi. Lucky's back. Love to see that. Also, my mother is in the chat. Not going to call out who that is, but she's in here. Hi, Mom. I love you.
Randy over there at Steelworks and Brewing is back. Scott Bryant. Yeah, so if you hear us calling out names that you don't see in the chat, that's just because, like I said,
we're in a few different places. So I don't know if you guys are able to see it right now, but we've got our TikTok handles that are kind of popping in at the bottom of the screen. Appreciate it if you're not already following us on that platform. Go over there and do that. If you're joining us from YouTube and TikTok, vice versa. Still in the clear on YouTube. I'm ABV Guy. And still in the clear on TikTok.
Jack tasted his George Washington the other day. Phenomenal. That's awesome. Hey, did you age it, or did you leave it unaged, which is traditional for the GWR? Just curious.
It's hard to beat a good GWR. Just like we were saying the other day, it's like the Glock of moonshine recipes.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Got a. Oh, there's back. Okay. So let's get this tasting out of the way.
Dang it!
I'm hoping these are ready because I'm not going to set it in front of the camera.
I'll show you for a second. On those.
So here's the GWR, and we are aging it with an oak mason jar lid from Hillbilly Glass Barrel, and then I've also got down in there a medium toasted oak stick. So trying to pull out a couple of different flavors on that one, and then the breakfast cereal bourbon, which we already bottled some of it, and then we bottled about half of it, and then we left about half of it aging longer just to see what the difference might be. So let's get started with that.
Crazy good. You guys didn't see the video out on YouTube that he did while he was making the breakfast cereal. It's worth the watch just to go back, grab his recipe, and make some of this, because it's absolutely crazy.
Oh, I also need the jaw of water.
Steelworks and Brewing said, tasting, tough job.
It is,
It doesn't, listen, there's some hardship in there.
It's surprising, as hard as this job is, as many volunteers as we get to do it. Everybody just wants to help out.
Everybody likes a good taste.
And so for those of you that are new, the reason I'm using this, I don't even know, trivet, I don't remember what this is called. It's got a fancy word. The reason I'm doing this is because it went into we started aging at 126, and I don't want to taste it at 126 because the final product is going to be proofed down. I haven't decided yet, maybe 80 or 90. So I'm just proofing these down a little bit so that we don't get the full heat. Smells good. Oh man, I think it's still getting better.
And it damn sure ain't getting worse.
It's not any worse for certain.
Holy shit.
Man,
It's crazy.
so I'm always afraid I'm going to over oak it because I've done that on a few of them where you just get this really kind of, I don't know, tannin kind of
just like real acidity kind of
bitterness
Yeah.
kind of, and I'm always worried that I'm going to overdo it, but I don't know, man. I might maybe just take half of that and bottle it again
I
and
like
then
that.
label it, you know, how long that, because the first one only aged like 5 weeks and this one's now at almost 12.
2 months and some change. Yeah.
So, and then bottle it and say this one was aged at 12 weeks and then leave it in there a little bit longer.
yeah.
And then you'd be able to sample 3 different jars with 3 different aging periods.
Well, and I would
of the same
I would
recipe.
think too, as you get lower in volume, like you could come back to it quicker to see how much has less
Yeah,
liquid
for sure.
you know taken on and
because of the ratio.
play around with it. But man, that's good.
Yeah.
I'd
Yeah.
take a fifth out of there for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Take a fifth, leave a fifth.
I think that one is still probably my favorite one that I've made.
I mean,
I've made lots of bourbons, and that one's probably my favorite.
it should for sure be up there. That is
Clinton Hosh is in the house. Midnight Runner's in the house.
everybody piling on in here.
Oh, here. Come on, strong man. Get that open.
Come on! Come on! There we go. And as you'll notice, these tops are just very easy to take off.
Now, I will say, too, that I
Oh, get a load of that.
never have been able to. Yeah, so you see the bottom of this oak lid is charred, which you want it charred. It helps filter it. Yeah, that's good. But
What was that?
I have a lot of problems with leaking. Like every time I would tilt it up and lay it back down on its side,
I noticed that.
I'd get a few drips, and it would stop dripping on its own. Like it would seal itself
Swell
up.
back up eventually. One time we had it
I ordered one of these off of Amazon. Solved the problem.
fixed it completely.
Yeah. So if you order any of these from Hillbilly Glass Barrels, you might also pick up some of this.
Look how thin that top is. That's kind of amazing.
Yeah.
Like
'Cause
the
it worked
top
real
end of the
well.
wood. That's
Yeah.
nuts.
Yep. Crazy.
Pretty cool. Man, I bet he has to be careful down there at the bottom, not like splintering those.
Yeah, I bet.
As soon as they are. Those are cool.
Swelled up, so it's a little harder to get back down. All right, so let's try some of this. Looks like Shane's brought us some beer.
I'm setting up. I'll be whenever you are ready.
Cool. Beer incoming. Great thing about being at a brew shop. People are bringing beers in. People are bringing wines in, bourbons, moonshine. Always trying.
Always.
In the name of science. I thank you.
Do what? Yes. Oh, is it updating? I don't know.
Someone say something good in there.
Let us know if the
We're
chat
trying to
is
see if you're
updating.
still scrolling. I'm getting nothing. I'm getting nothing on this end. Man.
Jason says if you're worried about over oaking, take about half the oak out and let it
Coming back
keep
now.
going. Yep, that's a good idea. Glenn says, or step feed oak chips in just a little bit more each month or so until you like it. That's a good idea. Kind of like a Solera. Am I using the right word again?
Say it again.
Solera style aging. I think
I'd be
I'm using
100% honest with you. I think other than just right now, that's the first time I've ever heard that.
it. Okay. We talked about it in one of the other lives, and I forgot the word name for it then too. But
Look at the big
someone
brain
put it
on
in.
Cyrus. Jack Longberry asked, where can I get one of those hats?
These hats are not available yet. They will be within a couple of weeks. I'll have them up on probably both Still in the Clear website and the Homebrew Center website, but they're not available just yet. These are the samples that we just got in to make sure they look all right before we put them up on the website. Yeah, that's you get that peppery rye part for sure.
A lot of wood. A lot of wood on that,
Yeah.
which is my preference. I mean, wines and wines, bourbons, whiskeys. I want wood.
Yeah. That
Part beaver.
so I've never aged a George Washington Rye, so I don't really know what to expect from it, but I mean that's good enough right there to bottle, I think. Would you leave it on longer or
No, I bottle it.
yeah, that's
I think it's right. I think it's right in that sweet spot of like, hey, picked up plenty of wood, got great color,
does
like,
have a good color.
really good color. It's a super dark. Super dark.
Paul McKinley says breakfast cereal is good shine. Yes, sir. Image is freezing up and the volume is really low. Oh no.
Oh God.
Okay, so the Adam is having some technical difficulties back there. He'll get it worked out.
Ha.
We might lose the chat for a second. We just did. It'll come back. So we've got
Look at that thing run.
a quarter jar back there. I'm also on this run because it's a 5-gallon run. I am collecting half jars because the smaller you run, the harder it is to fractionalize your cuts, and so half jars for that reason. And this is going to be the one and done run for the experiment, and I will let them breathe like always.
Mm-hmm.
The following day, I'll do my tasting and blending. And then out of that blending, I will keep like a quart.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to set the rest aside and use it to make the double run. Because I need a little extra more to do the double distillation.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna hold out a quart so that we can do our tasting, and then the rest is going to go towards the batch that's going to be the double distillation.
You know what I'm really excited about? I lose sleep over it. I think about it a lot.
What?
I want to put some poultry in a pot and see what happens.
We're getting there.
Pachuga.
We're getting there. Second week in December.
What if we do that live and we have a bunch of dudes from like down in like Chile and Guatemala just hop in our chat and be like, "You're not doing it.
You're not
like,
doing it right."
That's not Pachuga."
And they would probably be right.
They
and
probably
it's
would.
just fine.
Yeah,
It's okay with
and
me.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah. All right, Shane, come bring us what you got here. Shane has set up some taste.
What do we got, brother?
So we have one of my beers and a Blue Moon.
Oh, okay. We're doing a little.
Yep, doing a little test.
Okay.
So the thing is, this can be audience interaction if y'all can see that too. So which one do you think is the Blue Moon and which one do you think is the beer that I brewed? They're also going to try to determine which one is which as well.
I think I'm well read in the Blue Moons. I'm kind of
I'm
partial
not.
to them.
Like I'm not going to be able to tell.
If you, I'll say this, Shane. If you confuse me on this, I'm gonna freaking round of applause it because I drink a fair amount of Blue Moon.
Okay, so let's see what we can
I
tell.
know where I'm guessing off color right now.
Any guesses from the audience? Can y'all see that?
Huh. So again, I don't know Blue Moon. I'm going to go with this as the commercial product, and this as the homebrew product.
Yeah, I'm gonna try them and guesstimate. I would go the same here. I would have thought this is a Blue Moon, this is, but let's see. I'll taste this one first, actually.
And there's a piece of tape on one of them, so you can say the one with the tape.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because right might be backwards for us.
I gotcha. Well, I can tell you this, they're both good.
Yes,
They are both very
I
good.
100% agree.
They're both good.
Bailey agrees.
Both very good. I think to get an accurate reading on this, I'm gonna have to do a chug test. I know the chuggability of a Blue Moon extremely well. Let's go ahead and this one is pretty smooth.
I'm starting to think I'm going to change my mind.
Okay, that chugged great, super smooth, really delicious. Also, next to no aftertaste, which I feel like is hard to get sometimes on a beer, especially when you're doing kind of a newer beer that you haven't had before.
Okay, so I don't remember what I said just before, but I'm going with the Blue Tape is the commercial beer, and that's the homebrew. What are you doing?
Both extremely delicious. Blue Tape is the Blue Moon. This is the one Shane made.
All right.
So either we're both wrong or we're both right.
Yeah.
Do we have any guesses? Right hand Blue Moon, Rob Stagg says. Okay, so Rob, say Blue Tape or no Blue Tape,
Blue
because
Tape,
it
Blue
might be
Moon.
reversed.
Blue Tape equals Blue Moon, if that's what you're guessing.
Paul says, your left. That's this. This is my left.
Not gonna see that and not read it out. Joe Park said, "You and Randy have helped me with my technique. I'm a 74-year-old grandmother who loves to run shine."
Sweet.
I love that you're a 74-year-old grandmother who loves to run shine. That's really cool.
That's awesome, Joe.
Shout out to Joe Parks in the chat.
I'm really glad we've been helpful. That's awesome.
No Tape is blue on. Okay, No Tape is Blue Moon. We've got no Blue Tape. No Blue Tape. Okay.
All right, we got some responses in here. So the Blue Tape is the Blue Moon.
Woohoo! We
Dude,
nailed it.
Are we freaking the smartest people alive, dude?
I'll be right back. I'll show them the ingredients since I use your ingredients and how I made my beer.
All right, cool. So he's gonna give us a rundown on the ingredients of what he made.
Killed them
And these
bitches,
two do taste very similar. This one's a little more fruity than the commercial, the Blue Moon, but they're both great and very similar.
very light, very, but you still get that flavor and stuff too. So
All right, we'll see if we can see these two right here.
yeah, get them in there, brother.
Want me to take your seat, or are you going to be right back?
I'm coming right back.
Okay. So I used these two ingredients, 50-50 mix. I did 2 pounds, so 1 pound of this one, 1 pound of this one as my base. And then I added a little bit of coriander to it, like maybe an ounce. And then I did 1 orange. I just went through and did the zest on the orange. And that's it. And added maybe half a cup of sugar to get my SG where I wanted it.
Awesome.
Nice. What did it
nice.
finish out at, or what roundabout?
What's that?
ABV wise.
Around 5.
Okay, so right in there with the Blue Moon.
Exactly. So it's
Perfect.
very similar, but it is a different beer. Wasn't trying to be a copy of it.
Awesome, dude. Yeah, no, it's its
You
own
did a
thing.
great job. That's
Man,
a great beer.
really impressive.
Really good.
I told you, if you don't like beer, you just don't like beer.
Shout out to Moonshine Shua. What's up, brother?
Moonshine Shua in the house.
Big
What's up,
boy.
brother?
Sorry about yep.
Nate is sipping on his own product and missed the spelling. So
I
we
do that too as well.
I do it a lot. In fact, we put out some kits today, and I misspelled like 18 different things on the product on the product label. I got to go back and redo.
Easy fix. Easy fix.
Yeah.
Nate, what are you sampling, brother? Corn liquor? Jack Longberry asked, ever tried a dirty bastard? Brother, I am the dirty bastard.
I don't
live
even
it
know what
every
it is.
day.
What is a dirty bastard?
I don't.
I mean, maybe
I think it's a trap.
maybe him
I don't think
saying
you should
maybe it is
ask
a
that.
trap.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah, yeah.
it's a setup, isn't it?
It may not be. That could be a genuine drink. I've heard of some crazy drink names.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Burnt Mexican. So like tequila.
That's terrible.
Yeah, it's tequila with Tabasco on the bottom of it. It's not good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks. Not my favorite.
Yeah.
Had a concrete mixer. You know what that is?
No.
That's vodka and Bailey's, and the Bailey's curdles on the vodka, and you have to like work to be able to swallow it.
Yeah, that sounds awful.
Top 5 worst drinks ever.
It's a Michigan beer. Well, I've never tried one. Never tried one. And we'll be pulling that jar here in about 10 minutes, 15 minutes. We've had no spills yet. Shouldn't have said that because now it's right around the corner.
Took care of it. Handled it.
Right. It's a stout made in Grand Rapids, I believe.
Okay.
All right, cool.
I thought you had ill intentions with that one, Jack. Apparently not.
All right, so what do we got now? We've tasted our aging products.
Did we check? Did we try the breakfast cereal that's just bottled?
That's for that.
Ah,
I brought that out so that we
Oh, yeah, give
can
'em a little
try
peek.
the
give them
we're
a little
gonna try
preview of
the
what's to
smoking
come.
kit.
Got a little smoking kit here we had laying around. Got a few different pecan, apple, maple, hickory, lettuce in the lettuce. I mean, what do you think on there?
Man, I don't know.
I don't either. Oh man, there's more. Oak, pecan, hickory, cherry,
So this,
apple.
I got this maple. I think this is
Mesquite.
what I want to try. I got this from American Oak Barrel Company,
Man,
and then this I just got off of Amazon somewhere.
I've got one at the house
Amazon
that has
somewhere.
cinnamon,
Oh yeah,
like cinnamon bark.
right.
Dude, that's pretty nuts. If you've never done that on,
No,
you can just break up a cinnamon stick and just torch it on there. It's really good.
I have to try that. We got cinnamon sticks.
Yeah. I might have, I don't know. Who says we're just going to have like one of these? Maybe we just have like multiple small glasses, try a couple different
Yeah, go ahead.
things. Go for
you
it,
know,
buddy.
You know me. I got to pace myself.
Where is the best place to find recipes? Well, there's a MeWe group where there's
Yeah.
tons of stuff like that. Moonshine for Beginners on MeWe. You can go check that out. All of the kits. So, like, Tyson, if you're looking for, like, hey, here's just a pre-packed, pre-made, tried and tested kit. There's
Mhm.
several of those on stillintheclear.com. When you get one of those, there's links and stuff in there to be able to go and access more recipes. I think you just got to plug in your email or something like that.
Yeah. So, Adam, you want to drop those links? Yeah. So Adam will drop the invitation link for the Moonshine for Beginners group over on MeWe.com. It
Yep.
is a great place, and we've got tons of recipes in our files section over there that everybody can download and all that. And then also the Still in the Clear shop, all kinds of kits, pre-measured, pre-ground, pre-made kits that are tested, tried, and true. So
It's a hard word
Yeah.
to say. It's a hard word for me to say. Tested, tried, and true. Well,
not as tough as you thought.
all right. Easier than one would think.
Backwoods.
Corn, rye, barley, and oats. Yeah, dude.
Looks like Rob moved over to TikTok.
Wow asked, what temperature do you do y'all's runs at? I think with that, generally speaking, like somewhere around, are you talking about like still temp? Because
So-
that varies depending on the still, but like fermentation wise, keeping it around 70.
Yeah, I can tell you as far as the distillation, the only time I ever look at this thermometer is when I am heating up the still so that I know when it's about to start dripping. Once it starts dripping, I don't even pay attention to this. I could even just remove it and it doesn't even matter to me because I'm just paying attention to my flow rate. I want it to flow at a particular rate, and if it's flowing too slow, I'll turn the heat up just a notch. If it's flowing too fast, I'll turn it down just a notch because that's more important to me than what temperature. And the reason for that is what affects that where this thermometer is in the still will affect the temperature.
Yeah.
What style of still it is will affect the temperature. What is in the still, as far as the ABV of what is in the still, will affect the temperature.
Yeah.
And so when people ask, what temperature do you run your still at? It's there's not an answer. There's not a single answer for that.
Well,
And
I
so-
mean, and just to speak to the thermometers being in different positions, sometimes when we're running, you can hear the liquid in the still boiling. It's going to boil at like 212-ish, 200, when it,
Yeah.
especially when it's down lower proof. It's down there boiling, and then you're getting a top reading at like 190, 185 to,
Yeah.
200, somewhere in there. So,
Yeah.
like, you're just watching that rate of flow, really, and keeping an eye on it, and
Yeah.
just trying to stay consistent there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just pay attention to the flow rate. That's all I care about. And yeah, so Midnight Runner says sign up for the stillintheclear.com newsletter because that goes out once a month and there's a new recipe in there every month. So that's a good place to get new recipes for sure. And then I don't think I have a link for you, but
Shitted My Pants asked, do you have to have licenses or permits to do this? First off, brother, this is not a house of medicine. We are not learned doctors. We need no licensures. Okay, you can do this in the comfort of your own home. Again, you want to do it in your garage, cool. Shed, backyard, neighbor's property. Okay, go ahead and branch out there. Don't even check in with them. Just get over there, get a still running.
find a nice spot.
Figure it
to hide
out,
it.
brother.
Find a nice spot to hide it in your neighbor's yard.
To answer your question directly, no. I mean, you can produce your own alcohol at home. Just don't sell it. Don't involve 3-letter agencies and the government. There's no need to. If you're not selling it, you're good. We make wine, beer. We distill spirits all the time.
Yeah.
On live.
Yeah. Speaking of, not yet.
Also, that's a crazy name, brother. That is just a crazy name.
Yeah, you're welcome. Whoa, wee, whoa.
Whoa, whoa, wee, whoa. I don't know if that's what you intended, but that's how I'm going to read it. Jason's down there in Louisiana. Hope he's doing well.
All right, I'm gonna go grab some ice balls.
Little palate cleanser there.
We'll smoke some whiskey.
Boy, oh boy. Just you and I, we were made for each other. That's how I feel when I'm pulling out these different woods.
Ice ball.
We got that wood. Shout out Darren McFadden. We got that wood. Is that right?
Okay, so let's find out.
There's the options.
Let's find out in the chat which of you refuse to put ice in your whiskey, and which of you like to have it on ice.
Yeah, I wasn't even. Should have watched you for some tips on this bad boy.
Yeah, wiggle it, wiggle it, wiggle it, wiggle it, kind of break it up.
Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
So you can run. Okay. John Nick said, so you can run your own shine in Texas for your own consumption legally. John, we are not attorneys. We are not going to give you any kind of legal advice, anything like that. That said, you need to go look up a court case. It was decided in federal court and in favor of the hobby distillers. If I could remember the case style offhand, I would give you the actual case style, but just Google Texas hobby distillers versus alcohol border control, and it'll pull up a case it's kind of illuminating. You can interpret it,
And it's
however
like
you would
recent, like it's like
yeah, it's like brand
4 months ago, something like that.
Not even, yeah. Decision wise. What'd you do? Just bang this off in here?
Yeah, just kind of tap it and drop it in.
Don't open that yet.
All
I
right.
feel like there's a decent chance that if there's a spill incoming, it's right here.
Okay. All right, so we've got Backwood says no ice. Joel 318 says ice all the way. I like it with or without, says Nate. Whiskey glass with an ice cube, says John. Refuse. I'm not sure. You only get in trouble if you get caught. That's absolutely true. Randy says he loves a big ice cube. Use ice because it don't last long enough for it to affect what I'm drinking. Yeah, you're drinking your whiskey fast enough that the ice doesn't matter.
John's
Gotcha.
just at home hammering them things.
Big Red Shines in the house, and he says ice. Jimmy Jacks says no ice.
Ooh, frosty. Hey, Jimmy Jack's
Frosty
no
glass.
ice, but with a frosty glass.
I
Now,
like that.
that's a good move.
I like that.
Also, I have some stainless steel
Yeah.
ice cubes that I have.
Are they like square, round, or bullet?
Square.
Yeah, yeah. I've got some.
They work
I
okay.
think it's granite. I've got some granite cubes.
I don't know if it's a mental thing for. Oh, I have some stone cubes too.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mom in the chat. She got me those for Christmas one year. Still
Nice.
have them. Still use them.
Nice.
Send more. But I don't know if it's a mental thing with me, but with the rocks and the metal, I feel like they just don't retain the temperature as good.
Yeah, I
don't know if that makes any sense, but
I used the granite ones and I didn't like it.
I thought that they
But
just.
but
got
I
pretty
also
cool.
like the fact that by the time I get to the bottom of the glass, it's a bit watered down, and some people don't like that, but I do, and I'm leaving a lot of my ice exposed
Mhm.
because I want the smoke to adhere to.
You are.
Yeah,
So you think
I think it'll be better that way.
there's some ice exposed?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a little bit exposed.
It's a little bit. Yeah.
Maybe not as much as you did. But. This is, and again, it doesn't come through on camera, obviously, because you're not sitting here drinking it with us. But this stuff that he made out of breakfast cereal is far and away the best.
It's awesome.
I mean, dude,
Came out so good.
golly, set that over here.
All right. Well,
Do the honors, brother.
I'm gonna do the maple.
You're gonna go maple. I'm gonna.
Yeah. Although I couldn't.
I'm gonna
open
go
it
a
minute
different
ago.
direction just to be different. I have some ones at the house that I've used before. Actually, you know what? I'll let the chat decide. I've got cherry wood, oops, pecan wood, apple wood, oak wood, hickory, and mesquite. You guys tell me. I'll pick whichever one I see popping up the most.
Damn, that bottle is shrank. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, there's one for pecan.
Half that bottle is gone.
Mix them up. Ooh, I do like to mix them up. If I saw a good combo in there, I might just jump
Pecan
on
does
it.
sound good.
Pecan with maybe a little oak. I don't know.
I'm still going with the maple because I think the maple is going to be a good choice for this.
Dude, I got one of
I don't even
these.
know how much to put in, but
I got one of these for the first time when I was living in Little Rock. And it was an absolute problem in my life. I mean, I was just, I found myself at like around lunchtime being like, man, when I get home tonight, I get done with all this shit, I'm going to have, I don't know, 3 to 7 of these and just take a good long 8-hour nap and wake up tomorrow and do it again. Like I was in love with smoking cocktails in my apartment.
right.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to ask the chat because I don't have a lot of experience with this thing. So my plan is to torch it, smoke it, and then snuff it. Is that the right way to do it? Let me know.
I think you're right about that.
Is it?
That's what I used to do.
Is that the way you do it?
Well, and I would leave mine, like mine didn't have a topper, so I just left mine on, and you can watch and see, like it'll drain smoke down into this thing.
Because of the temperature difference?
And once it gets pretty full, then I would snuff it out, cap it off, and then
Just let it sit?
I would think,
Yeah.
I let them set a couple minutes. I don't get too crazy about it, but I mean, I let them, because I feel like most of that smoke kind of sticks to the glass.
Yeah,
It's kind of almost like an oily film. A little
Yeah,
bit.
which is why I left the ice too, because I think it's going to adhere to the glass and the ice
That's really good.
better.
Jack Longberry said the breakfast cereal is going to be my next run, dude. Yeah, I mean, honestly, same. I don't know why we haven't made more already.
Look at there. Looky there. Looky there. Would you look at this? Look at this.
Would you just look at it?
And we'll just let that sit for a minute.
What y'all mean breakfast cereal? Cornflakes? Drop them some knowledge, Cyrus.
Yeah. Who's asking? Lazy 7 Farm. Yeah, it's I made a batch with cornflakes and Raisin Bran, complete cold mash, no cooking grain, no nothing, just that and adding sugar. I didn't convert starches, but you probably could if you wanted to heat it up. But my intent on the recipe was to make it as easy as I could make it. So, yeah, it was cornflakes. It was like 60% cornflakes and 40% Raisin Bran, and that was it.
Whole video on YouTube about it.
Yeah.
So like a lot of those people are over on TikTok. If you're over on TikTok and you're wanting more on the breakfast cereal, go to YouTube, type in Still in the Clear, find him, unmistakable for anyone else. Go to his breakfast cereal bourbon video, and you can watch kind of start to finish him making that whole run.
Yep, it's a start to finish
And
tutorial.
it's worth the watch. If you're going to try to recreate it, like watch what he does, do what he does, because this stuff is crazy.
I'm gonna kind of swish it around, try and get it off that glass. And
Lazy
that
7
ice.
Farm asks no barley.
No barley. I didn't convert any starches. I just added sugar. So it was a non-conversion, what we call a sugar mash instead of an all grain mash.
Ooh, let me hit this. Give me one of those napkins there. I thank you.
It's time to change the jar.
I'm gonna really, man. I think I go pecan and maple. I don't know if that was a combo anyone threw in there, but ooh, apple pecan. Shout out to Jeho11318 because I'm going apple pecan. As soon as I read it, it felt like the right thing to do.
Well, so you certainly smell the smoke a lot more than you taste it.
Yeah. I think it's like a minuscule kind of add-on. I mean, I've never noticed it do anything. Now, the cinnamon that I used to do would be absolutely crazy every time.
Yeah.
It really put off, like some stuff puts off more flavor than other, I've come to find.
Yeah, so there's not, to me, there's not a drastic difference in the flavor of it with or without the smoke.
With or without the smoke.
There's a little bit though, and it is like smoky. I guess that's the exact correct word.
I really used to fire these bad boys off.
Joe Parks says Frosted Flakes and Raisin Bran, the best. Yeah, it is good. Lazy 7, I've ran a couple of batches before. Cool. Neon Blood says, what's sugar mash? So when you're making your fermentation so that you can distill it, the yeast make alcohol by consuming sugar. And there's two ways that you can give it something to eat, or give it sugar to eat. You can add sugar to your mash, and that's feeding the yeast, or you can convert the starches that are in your grain into sugar, and you're not adding any sugar, you're converting starches. And so when you are doing a conversion of the starches, we call that an all grain mash. When you are adding sugar to the grains to steep the flavor from the grains, then that's a sugar mash. If you're just adding sugar and water and nothing else, that's a sugar wash. So that's the difference. At least I think that's what you were asking. So
Hope that helps. Lazy Seven Farm asks, y'all have it on a hot plate or a fire? Brother, that's over, like, he's got one that's really... Shane, you out of here, brother? See you, brother. Thanks for
the
coming
beer,
by.
brother.
Thanks for
Great
the beer,
job.
man.
all right.
Later, dude. So Lazy Seven Farm asks, y'all have it on a hot plate or a fire? So he runs over a propane burner. It's kind of a little bit nicer than one that you might like fry fish over or cook on. It's got a lot of ports, and so it distributes the heat really well, really evenly. But that said, it's kind of just a preference thing, something that we've always used, and a lot of guys are running internal electric stuff, and like you said, hot plates, like a 5-gallon. This 5-gallon still, you could, if you have a big enough burner on your stove, I wouldn't see why you couldn't run it on
You can
your
run a
stovetop.
5-gallon on your stove for
Yeah.
sure.
If that's what you're into, if that's what you want, I've got to try this immediately.
This jar that I just pulled off came out at 93 proof.
Oh,
And that is jar number 7.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of people tuning in. Gas, natural gas, propane. Yeah, that's what we use.
Yeah, I prefer propane. I am going to set up an electric unit just so that I can do some video content and help people with the electric stuff. And
John Schilling, go ahead.
that 15-gallon copper traditional still from Copper Still Co. has an electric port built into it, so I'll start running that.
Yeah,
Going to make my own SCR controller.
that'll be cool.
Yeah.
Just to check out. We don't get any scalding or anything right now. I think we're just real happy with the heat source that we're using now, and that's really why we haven't done anything else. But John Schilling asks, how well does the grain flavor carry over if not converting the grain? If you're talking about the breakfast cereal, that's what you're asking about, as good as it possibly could. That's going to be my answer.
Yeah, so I think the biggest difference between an all grain and a sugar mash is with a sugar mash, you do seem to get a bit more of a bite. But that said, it's not always true. So I think you just have to try both ways, see what you like best.
Yeah.
And all grains are a bit more complicated. So if you're a beginner, you need to be starting with a sugar mash because there are several extra steps with all grains, and it's kind of like when you mess it up, it's disappointing. So get a few runs under your belt doing sugar mashes. And then when you switch over to an all grain, you can because you have experienced everything else. You've ran the still several times. You've been through several ferments. When you jump into the all grain, you can focus on the all grain side of it because everything else, you've already been through all that. But if you try and learn all of that all at once, I mean, beginners who start with the all grain mash almost always screw it up. Almost always.
Yeah.
And so that's my advice. Start with the sugar wash, do a few of those, then go to the all grain mash.
Cold ferment, a single stage, easy, simple mixed grain or corn kit, and run that through the still.
Yeah.
You got like little to no sweat in the game at that point. You're just putting it in a bucket, letting it run, getting your mash ready, straining your grains off, and dumping it down into a pot. Like it doesn't get simpler than that. Like, when you start getting into heating things up, get them the right temperature, adding all
holding the temperature, protein holds and different things.
Can get a little hairy.
Yeah. And the good news is, like this hobby, if all you ever want to do is sugar mashes forever, there's plenty of recipes to do it, and you don't even ever have to worry about doing an all grain mash.
Yeah.
Like you can just keep it simple forever if you want to. And if you're like one of those really technical kind of person that loves to get deep into the weeds, brother, there's lots of weeds to get into. You
Yeah,
know,
we can
like
get in. We get in them. We get in there, and there's so many like nuances and just offsets and different ways you can go, and slightly different. But
yeah,
there's a kit on Still and Clear. If you're new and you've never ran before, and you're all hooked up and ready to go, you got a still on the way or whatever, and you want to get a fermentation going.
yeah,
Do a simple one. Do the super simple beginner. Take a big run. Do it cold. You know.
yeah. I like to say the super simple beginner recipe is like fail proof. Like
Yeah.
it's so hard to get it wrong.
I'm trying to
great
fail one
recipe.
over there at the house right now, keeping it like 60 something degree. I mean, just, and it's just not. I'm checking in on it. It's still working. Like there's nothing
Yeah.
smells right. I mean, it looks right. It's specific gravity is continually going down. They're pretty bulletproof.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, we are. Where'd it go? Someone was asking if we're making cuts. Yeah, we're making cuts. I'm setting them off over to the side so you can't see them. But I'm collecting everything in half pints and probably, I don't know if I can tip it far enough.
Yep.
I'm numbering the jars and I'm putting the proof on the jar. I'll let these breathe overnight with the paper towel on the top. Tomorrow I'll taste and smell. I'll decide what I'm going to blend, what I'm going to toss out.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know. There's a lot of you guys that are kind of hitting on the corn liquor aspect, like just the simple corn mash.
Yeah.
We had one the other day. Someone brought in here. I'm not going to mention who. They could very well be in the chat. But they brought one in here, and it was like crazy. Corn liquor, just like real smooth, real.
Yeah, I'll call him out. That was Jeremy.
Yeah.
He go on TikTok. He goes by Oklahooch Moonshine.
Yeah.
And he brought some in, and it was phenomenal. And he's only been doing it for like 3 months. He came in here like 3 months.
Dude,
and
90
started.
days in and churning product out like
Yeah,
that is just nuts. Like
Crazy.
He's a fast learner. Dude, obviously too, a lot of that is just dedication to detail, and like he's super. You can tell he's
Right.
just that guy.
Well, and also like in that 3 months, he has ran a bunch of runs. Like he's been knocking them out.
Yeah.
And so every run you do, you're going to learn something. And so the more runs you can do, the faster you learn.
Yeah.
So
Well, and I would say too, like we try an obscene amount of product. I mean, like there's people always bringing stuff in and
Mhm.
dropping it off, having us try while we're here. And so like if you're bringing stuff in and we're trying it, and I'm like on the live, like, dude, this guy's got it figured out.
Damn,
You're
you
making
killed it.
really
Yeah.
good product. Yeah. Joe Park said sugar mash with wheat bran and oat bran is much better than tomato wash. The tomato flavor comes through. I've never done any tomato in it. I see they're talking about, putting it in there.
yeah, so a lot of people will use tomato paste as a nutrient. And so
yeah.
I'll say something about nutrient with a sugar.
Talk nutrient to me, Bubba.
Let's talk nutrient.
Give me a little nutrient. Real quick.
Right. So depending on what it is you're making, you may or may not need nutrient. So if you're doing a straight water, sugar, yeast, you need nutrient. Absolutely, no matter what.
Yeah.
If you're steeping grains, those grains have a lot of the nutrient. And then at that point, the only time you need nutrient is if you start bumping up your sugar, if you get your specific gravity up into the high level, I would call like 1.080 or higher, then you want to start thinking about nutrient. If you're under 1080, then nutrient and you have grains that you're mixing in, nutrient might not be as important. But I do think, and that's also like, there's so many variables, just even thinking about it. I'm thinking, okay, if you're using grain, say you're using cracked corn and you're just steeping the flavor, but you're not cooking the cracked corn,
Yeah.
you need nutrient.
Yeah.
You cook that cracked corn, you don't need nutrient.
Caramelizing those.
Right.
Yeah.
And then also you keep the specific gravity below 1080.
Yeah.
You go above 1080, make sure you add some nutrient.
Yeah.
At least that's how I do it, and I rarely have a nutrient problem.
I've only had one little run where I could tell I wasn't working as hard as I should have been compared to how much sugar content there was left in the ferment.
Yeah.
So I come to you. I said, Cyrus, please help me. Please help me. Something's wrong. And you're like, okay, tell me what's going on. I'm like, all right, and I'm running through everything. And you're like, oh, just, feed some nutrient and see if that makes a meaningful difference. Yeah, sure enough, that threw some nutrient in
Kicked
there.
it right
like
off.
early, yeah, dude. Like the next day, I actually had to, that ferment went from not working or very, very slowly working to, I had to run a tube down into a bowl of water because I was like, yeah. I mean, it was stupid.
Right.
It was the only thing it was missing.
Yeah.
And I added some nutrient on the front end of that, but there was so much sugar content in there that I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know. And I don't know, because it could have been it was trying to maybe overcome some pH and then finally, I don't know. Because it had a pretty high sugar content to begin with.
Yeah.
Also, if you're listening to us talk about this and you're like, whoa, dude, I'm not that deep. Some of you are. Some of you know you're right there with us. Some of you are beginners who are thinking about getting into this. Don't listen to this conversation and be discouraged and not start something fermenting.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like there's levels to it, and we're 10 levels in right now. But like when you get back to the first and starting your ferment, like don't get discouraged when you're hearing people make videos or talk like we are about the intricacies of fermentation and all that. Like just start the ferment, start to figure things out on your own. Watch,
I guarantee
listen.
you, if you're in here and you're thinking like, man, I've always wanted to do that, and then your next thought is, man, that looks kind of complicated. I ain't got time for that.
Yeah.
I ain't got, it's not as hard as you think it is at the beginner level. Like you can get as deep as you want, like we've already said, and get into the complexity of it, but you don't even have to. Like you can stay surface level and it's not hard. And like you said, you just jump in and start doing it. And that's when you really start learning stuff.
Yeah.
That's when you really start figuring things out after you've made some mistakes and got someone to help you and explain what you did wrong. Like that's when you're really learning. But it's such a fun hobby, and there's no end to the possibilities in the hobby. Like you never get bored.
You're a viewer out there. You're thinking, hey, Zach, hey, Cyrus, I've got a 7th grade education. I don't know. I can't do simple. I didn't ever learn times tables. I don't spell that good. Can barely read. Hey, guess what? Look here. 2 in the same. We're doing it. You can too.
I mean, you probably know because you've probably already realized that I make up words as I go.
I don't know a lot of words.
I just make them up.
I don't know very many. I've come to find out
I've been
every day.
around really smart people, and I kind of understand how smart words are formed.
Give me some big words in the chat. Put me some big words in the chat real quick. Let me stumble across a good one real quick. I'm gonna pick one out.
Paul McKinley says size mantra is doing is improving. That's exactly right. Doing is improving. I have an audio podcast on Spotify.
Yeah.
And that's it. In every episode, that's kind of how
I'm gonna listen to that joker in the shower.
Yeah.
I'm always looking for a good shower podcast.
It's a good shower podcast. Yep. I need to do more episodes. I haven't done an episode in like a year and a half. You learn from failing. That's exactly right.
Anyone got any good big words in the chat? Nothing, no?
Jack just put them in.
Come on, Jack. Give me a word I don't know. Fermenting the beginner now. Oh, Tony, I like what you did there. That could be an excellent book title. Fermenting the beginner, like fostering the beginner brewer.
Right.
Tony
is fermenting the super simple, I think is what he's saying.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Sorry, I missed that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I get what you're saying, though, now. In both ways is cool.
Yeah. A little double entendre there. How was that for a big word?
Say it again. Give it to me one more time.
It's a double entendre.
Did someone type that in there?
Fermenting the beginner now.
Someone typed it in?
No, I'm saying it.
What does it mean?
Fermenting the beginner now is a double entendre.
What does that mean?
It has more than one meaning.
Oh, okay. I've heard it before, but I've never really sat back and was just like, what do they mean by that?
I think that's what it means. I could have really just made that word up.
No, I don't think so.
Oh.
I've heard it before. It's not in my vocabulary.
Jason put some more big words in there for you.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Sounds like a skin disease, something that maybe you need a topical cream for.
Right.
Chesmoliotitis. Can you fermentate? Okay, I'm going to read it verbatim. Neon Blood 304 asks, can you fermentation 2 times? I'm thinking about it, but don't know if it works. So if you're asking, can you ferment in 1 stage versus 2 stage? Yeah, like a lot of people do that. They'll ferment, pull grains, pull material, pull fruit pulp off, transfer into where they just have like a clear liquid that they're fermenting and go from there. There's also generational fermentations that guys do where they're taking some off, culling grains, adding as they get gray, stuff like that. So I think if that's what you're asking, yes.
Yeah. I think that it sounds like that's what you're asking, like multiple generations of the same batch. Bailey, see you later. Saturday? Tomorrow? No, tomorrow works good. You killed it today. Thank you.
Later, dude. Paul McKinney said cognitive dissonance. Don't know what it means.
Good word.
2 words. I'm saying it's mentally something.
Yeah.
I'm gonna guess because I don't know.
Give it to us.
I'm gonna say cognitive dissonance means mentally distant from the actual whatever. Am I in there?
You're close.
Okay, give it to me, Adam.
That's
Can I get a
that's like
Webster's
in the
dictionary?
It's a foul ball, but it's in the ballpark.
Yeah.
No, it's basically having like a really firm challenge and feeling you get of being in the face of like some new truth about it.
You
I
can't
feel
accept
that.
it.
I feel
You
that.
can't accept new information.
Oh, dude, I do that all the time.
Yeah. We all do. Everyone is.
Okay.
No one is immune to cognitive dissonance.
Sorry, we got all the big words kicked there for a little bit. Let's move on. Florida Shiner said that the same as a sour mash. That's the same as a sour mash, right? I don't.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
lost you
thinking
there.
he's talking about I'm thinking they're talking about a sour mash. Yeah.
Jason down there in Louisiana said, I've done an all grain, then took back set from that run, added sugar, and did a sugar head with the same grains. Yeah, that's like kind of like a generational type. You're in there, dude. You're getting weird with it, and I like that. I appreciate it. I appreciate a brewer who gets a little weird, okay? A fermenter who's not afraid to get a little freaky. I like that. I like weird ingredients. I like different ways of doing things. I'm not opposed to nothing. I'm a free-minded fermenter.
Free-minded fermenter.
Adam the Crane guy said,
I'm a free-minded fermenter without dissonance.
I'm not gonna read that. I don't know. Sure, I'm not. I don't know if you're trying to get me canceled. I don't know what that means. I don't know what it means. Can't read it. Don't know. Say it a different way. Matt Perry said your vids have helped me get going full speed, dude. That's pretty awesome.
That's awesome. That's
Love to hear it.
That is my favorite comment of all the comments I get is when people say my content has helped them.
Yeah, it's pretty badass.
I love it. Makes me feel so good.
I love those comments every once in a while. Well, you know, like some people are just commenting, asking questions. A lot of the time, that's like what most of my comments on TikTok are.
Yeah.
But every now and then someone will be like, dude, made the push, like got started a fermentation, something like that. Or someone will message me and I'm like, hell yeah.
Right.
That's neat. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, roasting. That is something I haven't done yet, Jason, is roasting the corn. I saw a couple of videos about it. And when I saw Randy over at Stillworks and Brewing do it, I thought, man, I need to do that.
Ooh.
Haven't done it yet.
All right, Terry Baldwin. I'm gonna comment. I'm gonna highlight your comment here. This is something that we kind of preach pretty consistently. Terry Baldwin said, "Hold on, take 2. Hold on. There it is." Terry Baldwin said, "This is a learning hobby. Be prepared." Terry Baldwin said, "This is a learning hobby. Be prepared to learn more as you go." We say it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're constantly a student. Like, if you go look at my bios and stuff, aspiring alcohol maker, because I'm always learning, like always being teachable, like listening to guys, trying to figure things out.
Right.
So like nail on the head, couldn't be more right.
Yeah.
You never know it all. You never have got everything figured out. You're always looking to make a better product. And I feel like that's what makes a really good distiller is someone who does that.
Yeah, absolutely. I would be leery of someone who acted as if they had it all figured out,
Yeah.
because I certainly don't.
Yeah. I know.
And I don't pretend to have it all figured out. When I
Yeah.
figure something out, I share it.
Yeah.
And that's it. But you're absolutely right. And you also have to be prepared to screw up. I think that people run into, they screw something up and it's discouraging and it sucks. But what you got to do, and I do it all the time, go, well, that sucked. And just move on. Like
Yeah.
it didn't even matter. Just go on and try again.
The pineapple brandy.
The pineapple
Last
brandy.
season. I made a big I made a big run on TikTok live the other day for like 4.5 hours. I made this pineapple brandy. Bare bones, super good. Went to season it with some pineapple that just wanted to do nothing but
Yeah.
like separate, and it just was like too acidic. So basically I'm pulling all that back off at home and just trying again.
Yeah.
It wasn't good. Like there's
Right.
no way around it. Like sometimes you're just gonna make some shit that's not very good. Like when I went to back sweeten that, it was just
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
So
And that
figured-
happens,
Yeah.
JD says, no doubt, learning something new every time. That's exactly right.
Hey, someone that's using butter extract. If anyone's using any butter extract in their any kind of their back flavoring type stuff, like put in here and let me know what. Like, just let me talk to me about it a little bit. Something I want to look into. I'm not seeing a lot of content on it, but I could see it being like some cool flavors and just kind of in the backdrop, not really
Yeah.
a big present. Like, oh, hey, this is butter liquor.
Right.
I don't want
Butter
that,
liquor.
but
Butter liquor.
should lube you
A
up
lot of different-
internally.
A lot of different meanings.
Yeah. Butter
Chandler
liquor.
Cooper says, wait, are you guys from Arkansas? If so, and then I don't see the rest.
What are you, a Fed?
We are from Arkansas. We are in Arkansas. Absolutely.
Yeah. We're in here. Born and bred.
Terry says he has a thirst for knowledge. That's right. Jason has the drinking side of it all figured out.
Yeah, dude, I do that part of it. Dude, hey,
I'm a
and Jason,
natural.
I'll tell you earlier. Okay, let me back up on some what I said earlier, where it's like you never know it all. You're not. I tell you what I do know. I can drink them.
That's
I
right.
like drinking them,
That's
and I've got that part of it dialed in. pretty
dialed
good.
in.
Part of the that's part of the. I don't know. I feel like I'm that kind of guy that just needs like little rewards. Like if not. Like if I do a task or if I do something I like to get a little in return,
Right.
this hobby is like the antithesis of that.
That's right.
The whole point, like basically the bulk of it is return.
That's right.
Yeah.
Large ROI.
Yeah. Like not a lot of work on the front end and it's kind
Yeah.
of fun to run. You get to sit around and bullshit about it. And then at
Right.
the end, it's like, oh, well. I
And,
guess
and if you get bored babysitting a still, you just start a live stream,
yeah.
right? That's,
Mhm.
I mean, that was the only purpose. Well, we were just bored and thought, let's
Yeah.
turn the
We could
camera
pass this
on.
time more amenable. Amenable.
Toasted corn, love the idea. Yeah, I'm with you.
Jack Longberry said, I used some olive oil in a rum run and it gave it a buttery flavor. Okay. What do you mean? So, like, did you put it in the pot when you were running or did you come in on the back? Let me know what you're talking about there. JD Woodrum said, come to West Virginia, you'll have a blast, brother.
No doubt.
What do you got
I
up
would
there
love to.
for me? What are we gonna get into? We gonna go to the mall? I like going casually to a mall sometimes. I haven't been in years to a
Yeah.
mall, but I like every maybe like 4 or 5 years, just go walk around a mall.
Eat
What's
some
in
food.
there? Who's in there?
Eat
What are
some-
they doing?
Get some orange juice.
That's all high school kids working in there too.
Right.
It's like they don't care about anything.
Really strange.
Yeah.
The niche item kiosks and
Oh, dude, the kiosks in the middle.
Dead Sea Scrubs.
They couldn't be better, dude. You walk around, they're like, these are hot. You microwave these, and then you put them on. You can use them for 10 minutes. You freeze them for 45 minutes, okay? And then you go. So you're gonna want 7 or 8 sets of these. And they're like throwing it. And like sometimes I'll just be there, like,
They have to be
Uh-huh. Is the one on my neck actively done? Like, is it finished? Okay, take it, and I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna go get a pretzel. You're gonna see me walking back by here with a pretzel and not anything that you've been trying to sell. There's the Iron Duke.
Iron Duke is in the house. Yorkshire, England. Represent. Never mind Arkansas.
So for those of you that are around here close and you're like, man, I want to come by, I want to get involved. We do through the ABV Society. Shout out the hats. You guys were asking about the merch earlier. We do a monthly meeting. We do a monthly meeting first Tuesday of every month. So like you can come to the shop, hang out in person. Everyone's trying each other's stuff. We normally throw something on the TV. We eat. We hang out. There's been giveaways. There's been like all kinds of stuff. If you join the ABV Society, it's $40 a year. It covers all the monthly meetings. You get a 10% discount in the store, that kind of thing. So something to look into if you're here close. If you're from afar and you want to join and you just want the 10% on like the online orders and stuff like that, do it. And then like show up for a couple monthly meetings. We like meeting you guys that are from all over. It seems like there's a pretty good mix of everywhere. We got England, Australia, Louisiana. I got a big following apparently in Minneapolis. Don't know how that happened.
Yeah, that's right.
So anyway, yeah, do it or don't. We don't care.
Chandler Cooper says, no, I've been living in North Arkansas my whole life. Well, we're south of you. River Valley, Fort Smith area.
Chandler Cooper 795 said, how do I join and what part of Arkansas are your meetings held into? Okay. So just shoot me a message on TikTok if that's where you're coming from, and just get with me. I'll give you the information. You can call up the store. You can pay over the phone. We're probably going to set up a link on the Still in the Clear website and the Homebrew Center website where it makes it a little bit easier. But right now, you can message me. I can guide you through the process. We'd love to see you at the meetings. That'd be fun.
Y'all brew flavored moonshine or just straight corn? No, we do all kinds of different stuff.
I feel like there's a misconception there too. Like I think a lot of people think that you can ferment certain things, put them in a pot, and get what you can, but like apple pie moonshine, there's no putting it in the pot, running out, and at the end of it you get a brown cinnamony liquor that you just was like, oh, this is apple pie. Like a lot of it is back flavor, back sweetening, whatever you want to call it. So I feel like can you expound upon, there's a little bit of a misconception on certain recipes and what's on the front end versus the back end.
Yeah, like all of your like very popular kind of sweet moonshines like apple pie, peach cobbler, lemon bounce, cherry bounce. All of those are what we call post-flavored moonshine. And that means we've distilled a product first. Now we've taken that distilled product, which comes out of the still looking clear. It looks like this when it comes out. And then we add flavors to it. We add sweetener, sugar to it. And then we have like an apple pie moonshine or something like that. And I think there is a little bit of a misconception. So, and even like when you go, say you go to this liquor store and you buy some, what's the brand? Sugarland flavored.
What's the big one?
Sugarland moonshine. It's
Smoky Mountain.
It's clear, or Smoky Mountain. It's clear, but it's post flavored. Like they've used concentrates, clear concentrates and stuff to add flavor to those moonshines. The non-post flavored moonshines are not sweet. They don't taste like apple or pear or peach. Like those flavors, like whether you're talking about a brandy or whiskey or something like that, they're very subtle. They don't come out strong, and so there is a difference. I think people do get confused about it, just people who aren't familiar with it. But once you get into making it, then you immediately find out.
sent a gift and asked, any tips for first time?
Dude, Wilson, Steven, Marino. First off, appreciate the gift. That's awesome. Super
Thank
sweet.
you, thank you, thank you.
Any tips for first timers? Okay, I have a whole video on my TikTok about this. The best advice we can offer you is to start. Starting is a step that 80% of people who are talking about getting into this hobby don't do. It can seem like there's a lot to take in, there's a lot of information. You don't want to mess things up. The best thing that you can do is just start. Sometimes you don't know where to start. What do I need? What is going to get me going? There's tons of beginner kits. I would honestly recommend instead of distilling on your first run of any kind of making any liquor, go make a wine. There are super simple, like easy wine kits, mead kits. He sells them stillintheclear.com. Like you can go get one of those and just do a fermentation. Learn about specific gravity. Learn about what yeast does. Consumes sugar, makes alcohol. The byproduct is CO2. Like learn that kind of a thing. Get a good grasp, and then just jump in with both feet. You're gonna make 4. If you get one of the 1 gallon kits, you're gonna make 4 bottles of awesome wine. You're gonna be like, okay, well, this is a problem because I'm addicted now. I'm entrenched in this hobby. And you're going to have to probably pawn your car to go buy still, to buy grain. You're going to end up maybe homeless. I don't know. You're going to be running out in the woods on national forest somewhere. It could happen that way.
I do think that the idea that as a beginner, you just find beginner recipes, find things that are designed for beginners.
Yeah.
And start there. And you'll do fine. Even knowing you'll mess a couple of things up, it's fine. We all do. I still do. I've been doing it a long time, and I still mess things up.
What we find is people kind of wait around consuming videos, consuming like online reading material, like they're just like thoroughly invested in the knowledge component of this hobby, and then they just, for whatever reason, they put it to the side or they get discouraged and they just don't ever start. So like best advice to give you, start.
Just start. Just
do it.
Jump in and start doing
You're never going to feel comfortable that first run. There's just no way. You're never going to be comfortable about it. You just got to kind of have to do it.
And find a place where you can ask questions and talk to people. We go live every Thursday night, so that's a place. But Moonshine for Beginners is a community that we've built on MeWe.com, and you can jump in there at all times of the day, ask questions, and get answers. It is the best group for beginners. So if you're really thinking about doing it, jump in there and start and find you a good community. Adam just threw a link up in the chat that's an invitation link. Go sign up right now. It's free. It doesn't cost anything. And there's lots of people. There's a lot of people in this chat right now who are already members. They'll help you. And
throw in your MeWe handles.
Yeah. So that's where I would start for sure. And also, like, if you go to stillintheclear.com/guides, I have guide sheets where I break down different components of moonshining into a 1-page, easily digestible chunk of information. And I've got several of them there. It's a free download. Just go sign up for them. And you can find information out there if you go to certain places where it's all just complicated information. Just skip over that. Once you start reading something and it feels like it's too much and it's complicated, just skip it and go to something else, because you can start with just the stuff that's easy to understand, and then later all of that stuff that seems complicated right now in the moment will start to make sense later as you jump in and start doing things.
Yeah. Like there's a world where you just start a ferment with some grains, X amount of water, sugar, yeast, let it go a couple weeks, throw it in one of these Olympics. If you don't already have a still, you're looking for like a lower cost still. These are here in the store. And like, here's another thing too. Like, I don't know if you're like me. I like to come in, fondle things, like look at them before I make. Is it the wrong word? We got some reaction out of the word fondled there, like it was.
I mean, it was just in your head. So what are you
Yeah,
thinking?
I mean,
I didn't have a
I
reaction
grope
to it.
these things. No. So like I don't know. Like I like to tangible. Like I like things that are tangible that I can hold, look at, and
Right.
so like there's a few different varieties here. If you're close to here, come look in person. If you're not, look online, make an assessment. Like you know.
Yeah.
There's 200 different ways you can go, and if you stand at the precipice of like you starting fermentation and just look down all these different corridors, you'll just sit there and look forever.
Yeah, it's information overload.
Yeah, it's one of those hobbies. Jeffrey Bed asked, "Do y'all ship those stills?"
We do not ship these stills, but we get these stills from Whiskey Still Pro, and you can go to their website and they ship them.
Jeffrey Bed asked, so you're asking if they ship stills. If you go to my TikTok, you go to my link tree, click the top link, the Whiskey Still Pro link. Like you can go there, you're gonna get 10% off. You can shop through their website. Like you can get a 1 gallon still on your stovetop for $300, I think. By the time you get the discount, it's I guess like $270, something like that. So like start there if you're looking, and or get a bigger one. They're like the bigger ones aren't that much more. I just don't know where you're at in your fermentation, distilling. You know,
Right.
I don't know where you're at.
Bob McKinley says, I've been doing this for a while, but still refer to the STC guide sheets.
Awesome. Love to hear it. Love to hear it, brother.
I do get emails quite often from people thanking me for putting those out.
I'm sure. Yeah, they're super helpful.
Helpful and free. Everybody loves free.
Yep. Don't cost you a damn thing, Bubba.
Oh, Adam says he's showing you on the screen. That's a portion of them. But I think I make new ones all the time, and I think there's currently like 12 or 13 guide sheets.
Oh, man, that was a good one.
Jack Longberry says he has templates for those who would like to build their own. Also, are you talking about a still, Jack? That's awesome.
Jack, we talking about like a CNC situation? Or just like cut this metal out, solder it together? That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. Brian, the name of the website is stillintheclear.com, and you're on TikTok and you're watching this live on his channel. If you just jump over there to his profile, there's a link. It's a link tree. He's got several links, and a number of them go directly to the Still in the Clear website.
Yeah, and you can click any of those products that I have highlighted and get to the main website. If you're looking for something else, just like click the Distiller's Toolkit or the Super Simple Kit or something like that. Hop over there. You can find anything you want.
And I have lots of articles there too. Like, I don't know how many articles I've written on the Still in the Clear website about how to make moonshine, but there's articles you can read, there's products you can purchase, there's links to Amazon products, there's all kinds of stuff over there. There's one of the really helpful things that we made, and this was kind of a coordinated effort between the admins over on the Moonshine for Beginners group. We made a glossary of moonshine terms. It's like 70 something different moonshine terms.
Damn.
And so like,
I love words.
Because a lot of times when someone is new and they're watching someone like us talk about all the different ABV and all this, and you just get lost because you don't know the jargon. You know,
there's a lot of jargon.
There's a downloadable
jargon also. Great word. Great word, jargon.
And so there's a downloadable free glossary of just moonshine terms.
Oh shit. Hollywood in the chat.
Bennett, a wealth of information. And there's my nightly spam call.
Dude,
starting my journey on an 8-gallon Weaver, hoping to move up soon. The Weavers are great stills to start with because they're like the entry level cheap still.
There's 2 of them in there saying that they've got the 8-gallon Beaver.
Yeah.
I've never ran a Beaver.
Yeah, so here's the good and the bad about Beaver.
Let me hear it.
The good is they're cheap.
Yeah,
Like
everyone likes cheap.
you can get one. You can get into the hobby for $100 bill with a Beaver, right?
Talking about the
cheap.
1 gallon?
No, it's like a 5-gallon.
Oh shit.
Yeah, 5-gallon 2-pot, $100. So you're in the game. That's good. The bad is they're very finicky, and they want to, like, you have to constantly adjust things, and you get leaks and things like that, and like they're kind of a pain in the butt to run sometimes. So that's bad. Here's the other good thing that ties off of the bad.
Hit me with it.
If you can make some liquor with a Beaver,
Yeah.
this becomes a Cadillac. Like
Oh, yeah, that's
when
nice.
you upgrade to anything
Yeah.
from a Beaver, you're like, damn,
This is
this
crazy.
is sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
So, but like that's the entry level, getting the game on the cheap, or as my dad used to say, on the food stamp budget, you're in it.
Well, and I have to remember too, because we'll get so many comments and questions about how do I run a higher proof? How do I get up there like 180 and not like run really high proof? And it's
Not with a Beaver.
Not with that. Like you're that's a specific setup with a ton of reflux and like all these different. It's just
Actually, there is a Beaver that you can do that with some modifications, but it's not the $100 Beaver.
yeah. So yeah, depends on what's your desired outcome. If you're just getting started, like dude, yeah, pop off on one of those, get started, and then figure out more about fermentation, figure out more about distilling, and do what makes your heart happy.
Bennett says never again.
I said I ran one 4 times. What happened, Bennett? What was your experience? Please do
Bennett
tell.
says the bad is they're cheap. They are cheap, and they are a pain in the butt. And I mean, he ain't lying.
Bennett's
but
not going to sugarcoat shit for you. He's going to let you know.
We don't all have the kind of money that Bennett
That's
has.
true.
You
We
know
don't
what I'm
got that.
saying?
We don't.
Like,
Hey, brother, when are those royalties starting to roll in? Can't hide money, brother.
the tiny condenser sucks. Yeah. So usually one of the first modifications people make to a Beaver is making a 5-gallon bucket condenser.
Yeah.
Because the little condenser that comes with them, they're like this big,
Tiny.
and they're not big enough.
Just can't keep them
Yeah.
cool off now.
But I've seen people start with a Beaver and modify those things to like, damn. Like I don't know
someone
if
did.
Backwoods is still in the house, but Backwoods
Yeah, he's
took
right
a
there.
Beaver.
Go Beaverstein. He said.
Yeah, like he
created
took a Beaver,
Frankenstein,
and we were all like, Jesus, dude.
Dude, like
Yeah.
a souped up. It's like
Yeah.
a guy who like rolls up to a car meet with a Civic, and then you pop the hood on it, and it's like, oh shit, there's like 7 turbos in it.
Right.
How did you do this?
Right.
How is this thing not?
How did you get a 460 in a Civic?
How are your rods not 2 foot under an interstate right now?
Right.
It's like it's awesome to see like a little beginner still like that. It's almost kind of a cool idea just to take. Well, let me buy the cheapest still on the internet.
Yeah.
And start with it and run into like a huge just completely get crazy with
Right.
it. It's a cool video idea.
Yeah.
Might write that down.
Write it down because we won't remember.
Give me that.
Iron Duke is telling me, Cy, there will be an article in the next issue of the MASH that helps you keep your mash warm in colder temperatures. That's perfect because
What a neat
it's
name.
it's the cold time of year. People do have a problem with their ferment getting too cold. Iron Duke is like the editor of the MASH. And for those of you that don't know, the MASH is our monthly newsletter. Again, it's free, and you can just sign up and start getting it every month. A couple of articles, a new recipe, a deal of the day. It's a fun little newsletter. I feel confident saying that the MASH is the most subscribed to monthly Moonshine newsletter.
That's awesome.
I mean, I'm pretty sure. Mainly because I keep
There's
track.
a few
I
thousand
keep track
people
of,
on that. Yeah.
It's like we're up to like 9,000 something
Damn.
subscribers. Right. Yeah. Quite a bit of people, and always good content. And that's always thanks to Iron Duke because he kills it with that thing.
You think if we put some tasteful photo spreads of you and I in there that we could up the popularity of that thing, or
I mean,
would it maybe go the other way?
maybe we can get Windsong in there, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure she
we
would
may not be the models for that kind of a maneuver.
Right.
Bennett said, "I'm running the thing I hate most tonight. I hate neutral." Yeah, not really
I agree.
a ton of fun in that. It is kind of cool. You're seeing as high as you. I guess
Jacking it up there as
Yeah.
high as you can get it. That can be fun.
That's a
but
cool
it's like
game to
I
play.
don't like neutral spirit.
no one's drinking it that way.
Yeah.
You're just. I don't know. I get what you're saying. 100% Bennett.
Moonshiner says Beaver diesel heater on blanket. I'll need more.
I know what all those words mean separately, but when you put them together the way that you did, hard to decipher, brother. Hard to decipher.
Lucky D says Iron Duke is the man. Yes, he certainly is.
Iron Duke is dope. We love him.
Clinton Hosh, fine. He's answering. That's cute.
Oh shit! Someone called me by my government name in here.
What?
I don't know who that is.
The
That's concerning.
chat's starting to move a little quicker. Kind of missing some of it.
Huh? Shout out. I know. Oh, okay. I hope it is. Shout out to Miss D and Mr. E. Not gonna say your names on here if that's who you are. Hope it is. Glad to have you. So Ben says he's gonna have the old lady make some apple pie and some lemon. Do they have the same situation worked out that you and Winsong do, and that like he runs the liquor and she flavors everything?
I think so.
That's honestly the guys that are making the best stuff. That's the situation. One guy's like, "Hey, I can make some liquor," and then he's got a wife counterpart that like back flavors and sweetens, and it's like nuts.
Yeah.
Because I don't, Clay. Yep, that's what he's saying. Yeah, I need to get that. I don't know. I need to get my wife on that train.
Need to get
'cause I'm-
Mama
I'm,
in there.
I'm 50-50 right now on back flavoring the last couple weeks. Yeah, Tony said I use an aquarium heater. So far, so good. Yeah, I see that a lot. A lot of guys are commenting saying they use aquarium heaters.
Yeah.
One guy said in one of my lives that he used a waterbed heater. And he just
Like a mat.
he just dropped that shit down in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm sorry. For
You haven't seen that
Sorry
in a while,
for
have
cussing,
you?
brother. Huh?
Waterbeds. They
I had
used
one
to
in
be
high school.
so popular back in the 90s.
I had one in high school.
Yeah, I had one too.
I regret it. Not keeping it up. You know what happened though? My belt buckle punctured a hole in that thing,
Yeah.
and I was laying there one night, and then next thing I know, dude,
Having a dream you
Michael
were pissing your
Phelps
pants.
just swimming laps, dude, in my sleep. Wake up disoriented, a little confused, cold.
Midnight Runner says check the jar.
Halfway, just about halfway.
Almost. Thank you for the heads up.
Roman asks if that's the $300 still. Back behind us? Okay, so there is, I'd have to go look on their website. Go over there to be sure. Click the top link, the Whiskey Still Pro link, and go shop for yourself and verify, because I don't want to tell you wrong. This is the upgraded one. This is the size up from the 300 still. The $300 still, I believe, is a 1 gallon still. It'll tell you on the product description. I think that these run like $100-ish dollars more. Go on their website, check it out to be sure. I need to go over there and look, but Flavor Queen, yeah, I need me one. I need a good Flavor Queen.
Bennett, we ought to get our wives to do a contest because they're both well known for their flavoring. That would be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
just for bragging rights. I mean, we don't have to make it crazy.
No, dude, your
Sometimes-
wife can beat up Bennett's wife. Okay,
No, we're not going.
let's
down
get them in
that
there and
road.
fight them.
Let's do a.
I'll sow a little discourse.
Maybe we can get one of the Paul brothers to promote it. That'd be a lot of fun.
Dude, yeah. All right, so we're actually not going to flavor anything, Bennett. We're just going to get your wife in there. She's going to fight his wife. We're just going to see what happens. Rocky Mountain Moonshine said, "Hello, Cyrus. Thank you for all of the information over the years." Sweet.
Man, you're welcome.
pretty sweet. What a good yeah, shout out Rocky Mountain Moonshine. What a nice comment.
Clinton Hosh the whole time, he's just in there helping people, answering questions.
Yeah.
Like,
What a
so
killer,
helpful.
dude. What a killer. Let's mod that guy. Do we have those capabilities?
Sure.
Mod. So the upgrade is 450. Roman, I think so. I was thinking it was like 100, 150 or so. You're getting 5 times the amount of volume. So there's that to consider when you go from the 1 to the 5.
Jello wrestling.
What do you say?
It says Jello wrestling.
I love Jello, dude. Honestly, I could probably see myself maybe doing a little Jello wrestling just to, occasionally you get knocked down.
Yeah.
When you get knocked down, what's the best thing that can happen to you? Get
Swallow
knocked
some
down,
Jello.
I get up again. No, get knocked down, stay down, have a little Jello. Right. What's wrong with that? Is that a peated malt in the still?
It is not, sir. I have yet to do it. This is just straight corn liquor.
Terry Baldwin said, love using my waterbed heater. Temp holds and adjustable from 70 to 100 degrees.
Nice.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
And they're, if I remember right, they're kind of like long and narrow, right?
Yeah, they're like a...
So you could wrap it around a barrel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen, there's been guys say, they adhere them to the side of a barrel. There's been some guys that drop them down, because there's some waterbed heaters that are internal. And so, they're in there, in a baffle situation, I guess, and they're actually, actively up in there in liquid.
Yeah.
They order them online, drop them down there in their tank, forget
Nice.
about them. It's just like the same kind of a situation where guys will keep their cattle troughs from freezing.
Right.
In the winter, they'll drop
Yeah.
down small little heating element, something like that. Nothing too crazy. You're not trying to cook it, just trying to kind of keep it warm.
Midnight Rider says Clinton's from MeWe. That's right. He's a fairly new member over there on MeWe and in there all the time helping.
Love to see it.
39 YouTube viewers, 12 TikTok viewers. Bennett has a barrel band heater. Yeah.
Back when I was dedicated. Brother, if you're not dedicated, you run a lot for a dude that's not too dedicated. I don't know. Lucky D said you can also use a seed bed heater that you can wrap around a blue barrel or bucket. I'm lucky. I'll be 100% honest with you, brother. Not sure what a seed bed heater is. You know?
Yeah, for propagating seeds, for getting them to sprout.
I don't know. I feel like maybe we're looking at me not knowing that this is a product and going, look at this fucking idiot. But it's like, it seems like
again, that's just something in your head.
Okay, all right. It seems like a niche product.
It is.
Okay.
Yeah, it is. It's
glad to know it's a thing, though.
It is a thing. Yeah. This is the last damn run of liquor I'm ever gonna make.
It's the last damn run of liquor I'm ever gonna make.
The proof on the last jar was 93. And this one is almost ready to pull off. It's dripping pretty slow.
Just a little guy. And also, if you're looking at the rate at which we're pulling this liquor off, we have this still intentionally turned way down right now. If we were just trying to run this thing and get all the liquor out of there and just add it into our tails, we could do that. But, the viewership, who we care about, who we love, who we come here every week for, we got to turn down a little bit so it lasts the whole show.
Scott, what are you asking? What would impart a plasticky flavor to the mash? Are we talking about the heater?
I've never drank one, but I bet that they would taste a little plasticky.
Yeah, I've never drank one either. Yeah.
But it said last damn run till March. Bullshit, buddy. I bet you don't. I bet you're running more.
Well, we did get all of our tasting done that we
tasted
planned
some
on.
extra too.
Yep.
God, dude, this stuff is just crazy.
I mean, that jar was full yesterday. Now,
Especially just
look at what you did.
Look what you've done. What'd you do, Richard? But yeah, no, I mean, I think for like a 90 proof, and shout out to Still and Clear. We'll show off the label for a few seconds there.
Oh, the waterbed heater in the mash. I mean, I don't know. Like, I ferment in plastic buckets. I don't ever taste plastic. So
Who said that?
Scott McNeil is worried that the waterbed heater in the mash might give it a plastic flavor, if I'm reading everything correctly.
I mean,
Sometimes I feel like I'm catching comments and not staying completely in the flow.
yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I know a lot of guys use them. They probably, maybe, I think most of them, from what I've seen, are using them externally, and they're just affixing them to their barrel and then like wrapping their barrel in a blanket or something like that. Depending on the waterbed heater that you have, if that's what you want to use it for, like just, I'm sure there's some YouTube videos on it of guys dropping them down direct in, but it depends on your environment too. Like if you're a guy that's up north and your outside temperature is like, you know, teens negative sometime, and you're fighting against that in like an insulated shed, yeah, you'll probably have a different outcome than if you were just affixing to the outside, like in a cooler temperature. So it just depends on like how much temperature are you trying to fight against. Like
Yeah.
here in Arkansas, this time of year, I'm fighting against 10 degrees. Some guys are in Michigan fighting for their effing lives, like 40 degrees below zero, like ice fermenting, you know, like different situations for different areas of the country depending on weather. Bennett said, I need some fancy labels. Yeah. That's
Everybody needs fancy labels.
Yeah. Have your wife work on that. She can drum some up. I can't do, I just like, it amazes me how not capable and that kind of thing I am. And then when I have, like that's more like my wife can help me out in areas like that. I don't got it in me. I'm going to read this comment before I read it aloud to make sure that I don't say anything inappropriate. Jason Acosta said I fermented in a trash can. I like that.
Trash can hooch.
Trash hooch. Little trash hooch.
Little trash hooch.
I'm making it in my tub, dude. No. Bennett, yeah, it's a good point to make. There's a lot of temperature transfer if you're going right off a pad. So Bennett said, big thing is get the barrel off the concrete floor. Yeah, even if you're just like maybe not necessarily open air under it, but if you're just setting it on some wood, just getting a few degrees of separation between the concrete floor and the ferment, that's awesome. Jack Longberry said there are a lot of creative folks in here. Much appreciated. Some creative, some maybe not. I don't know. I feel like it's a good mix of creative people, though.
Roman asked if we could see that proof.
Roman, last jar came off at 93. We're into the tails here. That one came off at 93.
And this one.
Terry Baldwin. You're one of my Michigan guys. Got a big following up there. I don't know what happened. I don't know if I just jive with my Michigan people. There's a lot of people in Minneapolis, Michigan. Like, so that's pretty cool. Don't know how it happened, but glad to have you, brother.
90.
90.
And this is jar number 8. 8.
Bennett said, I'm just honest. Yeah, dude, for sure. There's no one, dude, the internet's a wild, weird place. It's a big place. I've never once seen anyone who said, you know, that Bennett, he's not really a straight shooter. Doesn't calls it as he sees it. So you got that going for you. I like it. I appreciate it, honestly. Jack Longberry said, my wife is evil eyeing me. You guys give me too many ideas.
I mean, it sounds like we're getting blamed.
She may be right. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, brother.
Maybe she's right.
I'm
I'm gonna turn this up a bit.
Are you guys drinking right now?
We're
I
gonna
don't
get
even
there.
know. Like when you guys are just sitting back watching us every Thursday on live, because there's like so many of you that come in every week, which honestly we appreciate. I don't know if we
All the regulars.
but dude, it's just like so many regulars. Like it's there's a crew of like 30 or 40 that are like super consistent. What are you guys doing when you're watching us? Like we're on for a couple hours. Are you like sitting around drinking? Are you running your own stuff? Are you in your shine shed or whatever you call it? I mean, what are you guys doing? I mean, I like it. I'm here for it. I'm just trying to figure out where are we at? Where are you at? At work. I love that too, brother. Dub for life. Oh, Florida Shiner. Oh yeah.
At work.
You're always in here, brother. Which I do appreciate that.
Jay Shine asks, does airing out jars make a difference? Never tried. I personally think it does. Like the taste and even the smell of the jars the next day after you've aired them out is different.
All right, shout out to Scott Bryant. He said, I drink and smoke weed.
Oh yeah.
Damn, dude. That's just someone, that's a dude right there that's just like, you know what? I'm just going to let him know.
Yeah.
There's two things, and I'm
Then
in
it's on the opposite side. He says you don't want to know.
So, hey, dude, cool. Midnight
Jack
Runner
says you
said
don't wanna
drinking
know.
beer, taking shots of the goods. So, dude, are we just all sitting around getting slowly
We're
and
just
surely hammered
Lush.
every Thursday night together? Not the worst. Kick back, drink. Everyone's drinking.
Yeah.
Bennett, I don't drink. What a damn lying ass.
Clinton finished up work and is looking through MeWe to catch up. Nice. Kicked back drinking. Joe. That's awesome. I can picture Joe just sitting back in a chair watching us. She's sipping on some homemade shine.
Man, I just love the idea. I wish, I don't know, Joe. I want to know more about Joe. I want to be
For
Joe's
sure.
friend.
Yeah.
Joe, if you have a TikTok, go over to TikTok and follow me on follow me on there, ABV guy, and message me. I don't know if you got a TikTok, you may not, and that's fine too. But Joe being like, what did she? I don't want to get it wrong. In her 70s, I can't remember if he's 74 or 76. I can't remember.
I don't remember either.
Joe being 74, 76, being a grandma, making moonshine. I'm telling you right now, that's someone that I want to like
Absolutely.
conversate with.
Want to chill.
What's up with you? You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Check that out.
Yeah, for sure. Rocky Mountain Moonshine. I have not heard from Old School in a long time. His channel, I can't find his channel anymore. So I'm not sure what happened. If anybody knows what happened to Old School, drop it in the chat.
Paul said, sipping on homemade shine, cleaning up dog shit. Brother, hey, man, if you're going to have to clean up dog shit, you might do it while you're drinking a little shine. I wouldn't see why not. Jason Acosta said, I did pick up a new bottle of Wild Turkey 8-year before I went to work. Brother, where do you work at? Did you get to take it with you, or are you joining it now? I don't know. People have different jobs. This is a job. I'm drinking now.
Yeah.
I mean,
we do drink on the job.
Yeah, constantly. Every day.
Midnight Runner says, picture us all in a room together. Brother, danger.
Just like
Problems.
Hey, let's play a fun game of everyone be asleep at 6 p.m. That's how that would probably go for me. I don't know. I don't know. I can pace myself in a marathon situation, but god dang. I feel like it'd be too good of a time.
Bennett, wine is the same as moonshine. You can make it as easy
way
or as
easier.
complicated as you want.
It's way easier, I think.
Well, like there are more technical parts to the fermentation side, but then you get to skip the entire distillation side.
I don't think it. I mean, I don't. And I could be wrong, but I see wine as the easiest thing you can make, from my perspective.
Yeah.
Now, listen, there's levels to it, right?
Sure.
And making like a really, really, really good wine, one that you could compare to like a store-bought Cabernet, wood age, like all the right notes. Yeah, that's super difficult.
Yeah.
But like just making a good drinkable wine that people like, I've made some strawberry, blackberry, muscadine, like making something that people grab a bottle of and they're trying to like, hey, like how many bottles can I bring you? Like, will you give me another one?
Right.
Like just wine that people like to drink. I think
It's not that hard.
I think it's the easiest thing you can
Yeah.
do. Because
I
you're
wouldn't agree with the easiest. I think mead is way easier than wine.
Okay, well,
But
yeah,
wine
yeah,
is
yeah.
not. Wine is not hard
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
just stick to the simple stuff.
Yeah. I've done some stuff with wild blackberries. I've done some stuff with wild store-bought strawberries that it's like, yeah, if I can do this, it's this simple. Set it in a carboy and forget
Yeah.
it. Like, let it run out and rack it a couple times. Other than that, it's nothing.
Scott is asking about Red, the moonshiner from North Carolina. You know, he hadn't put out anything in a while. I have his contact info. I'll see if I can get a hold of him. Make sure he didn't.
Yeah. Scott Bryant there said, I've not seen a video from Red, the moonshiner from North
No.
Carolina. Young guy wondering if the hurricane got him. He had a really good build, and I liked the way he looked. So, odd thing for you to say, Scott. I'm kidding. Jason can't drink on the job. Most of us can't. And I'm sorry for those who can't. I can in this one. But, yeah, no, I get it. You can't, like, maybe you're a toll booth operator. Bad look. I
I don't know. I think I could get away with it.
Traveling circus though, like, hey, when's the last time you saw a sober carny? Never. Not one
No.
time. You've never seen a sober carny. You haven't. It's not possible.
I'm not sure I've ever looked at a carny while sober.
Same, honestly. One and the same. Man, I'm so jealous. Everyone talking about they got a really good. I got to clean out my garage, dude. I just got to bite the bullet, clean the garage out, get all that stupid shit out of there,
Yeah,
and just turn it into a shine shack.
absolutely.
I
Absolutely.
see. There's some of y'all. You don't think I do, but I do. I go check y'all stuff out on TikTok, and I see some shine
Some
shacks.
pretty nice
that are
shine
like,
shacks out
"Dude,
there."
What?
Yeah.
I've seen God. I go like this. I say, God, I've seen what you've given others, and I'd like to have the same.
Yeah. Right.
You know, there's some cool setups out there,
Waiting for that prayer to be
Yeah.
answered.
which is a cool setup in here, and there's a lot of space. But dude, if I wanted to, like, if I had the urge just to go out to my shine shack and make a run, 2 a.m,
Yeah.
I'm naked, maybe smoking an occasional cigarette.
Yeah.
I can't do that here.
Well, 2 a.m, you absolutely could.
I guess I could.
I mean, I don't get here till like 5, so
Yeah, that's true.
5:30.
Just what would you do one morning? You walk in like 5:30.
You're
There's
passed
nine-
out naked.
There's
the
9 to
steam's
10
running.
empty bush lights. I'm fully nude and I'm like asleep on the floor. Just like,
I can tell you exactly what I'd do.
what would you?
Make a short video.
What do you think I'd do? I'd take the candle out of your ass, cover you up with a blanket.
Right. I'd go get the Sharpie. We'd, be a lot of fun. Si, do you know where in North Carolina? Florida Shiner, I do not know where.
The Iron Duke said, "Where are the lady shiners? Brothers on the prowl. Where y'all at?" There's Iron Duke. There is at least one other, the wonderful Miss Jo Parks. She's in here.
Joe Park's in here. Winsong might still be lurking if her internet held out.
I just saw Joe's comment up there. She said, "Who's watching some old gray-headed woman worried about what she's doing? The sheriff only wants a bottle of shine for his wife." Dude, I'm wanting more of Joe.
That's funny.
I want to be friends with you in real actual life and just know about you because that is just, you're the most interesting person maybe ever. I don't know. 76, making shine, hanging
Pretty
out,
awesome.
having fun.
Hell yeah.
That's cool. So, reading these comments here. There's one song.
Yeah, she's still hanging out.
This is a fun
She
one.
says, not so chatty tonight, but somewhat present. Yeah.
Okay, so Ray Pierce asked, ABV and still, y'all have obviously run 20-gallon batches. How long do those usually take? So, again, it depends on what exactly you're asking. If you're asking once it's in the still and you're running it, or if you're asking once you start to begin to ferment 20 gallons, start to finish.
He'd
Probably
probably
just
talk about the
I
runtime,
would think,
and that's going to depend on the still itself. So it can take, let's see, my 25-gallon still that I used to run would take 12 hours, but I had a 2-inch column on it. I had a 3/4 inch. Part of the vapor path was 3/4 inch, so that was the bottleneck. So it could have gone faster if I had a 3 or a 4-inch column. So it depends on the still.
Yeah.
If you were running a 20-gallon that was this type of still, it would take,
Dude,
18 hours.
I wouldn't
probably.
even want to know.
Yeah.
Why are the Olympics so much slower?
Bennett says 4 hours for the 20 gallons to distill. I think he means 4 hours on his still.
Just rolling that thing. 4 hours is quick, dude.
Bennett, you got
hours is
a
freaking
North
fast.
Georgia. Am I right? You got a North Georgia still or no?
I think he has some keg stills too. I don't know about that. I could be wrong about that. Most of the ones I see are copper.
$78. So that one dropped way down. So this run is done. Let's see. What jar is that? 9? Number 9.
To strip.
4 hours to strip it.
Yeah.
Probably.
That adds up.
Yeah, I can.
Thunder Road 20 is what Bennett said he's running that on.
Oh, okay.
I don't know that I've ever seen one of those.
Someone was asking if I knew Thunder Road, and I think I saw that comment. The answer is no,
Yeah.
but I know who you're talking about.
8 hours for my 30-gallon. Yeah. Yeah, 8 hours to run 20 gallons. Yeah. He builds the stills for moonshiners. He makes great stuff. Who are they talking about there? Thunder Road?
Yeah.
I gotta go check some of that. I gotta check that out. I don't know that I've ever. I think it's the first time I'm seeing.
Yeah, he's got some great stills.
Okay.
Well, I think it's time to call it, Bubba.
Okay.
This run is done.
Run's
It's almost
done.
7.
We're about half cocked, or I am anyway. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't drank everything you've drank, but you know.
That's what we do, okay? We care about you guys. We thoroughly test these products, okay, to ensure that by the time it gets to the end consumer, all the kinks are worked out,
Yeah.
all the bugs are out. But yeah, dude.
Before we go, Island Boy Holdings is asking, can you explain gravity and proof?
Brother, I would. Can you
So-
explain that handle first? because this isn't the first time we're seeing you. I love that. I've caught you out before. Island Boy Holdings. We have guessed that you are a Florida real estate landholder. I don't know that. That said, can you explain gravity and proof?
Well, I can tell you what I know about both. So gravity is, you're talking about specific gravity. It's a measurement of density. So like any liquid that has something else mixed with it has a specific gravity. So salt water has a specific gravity. Your cooling fluid in your radiator has a specific gravity. We use gravity when we're talking about sugar that is mixed with water. So on the specific gravity scale, it starts with 1, and 1 is the gravity of water. That's the base unit. And then as you add sugar, that number gets larger. So 1.132, 1.14, the more sugar you add, the higher that number gets. Sugar, everything has its own amount of gravity points. The different grains, the different sugars have gravity points, and it allows you to calculate the ABV that you're going to get when you're fermenting, if you know what your starting gravity is and what your final gravity is. And so there's a number of different kinds of calculations you can do, but when we talk about gravity, we're talking about the amount of sugar that's in solution with your mash. And that's all we're talking about. Now you can use that information to make other calculations to find out other things, but that's specific gravity. And so I don't want to go too deep into gravity since you're just now asking what gravity is.
Let me just piggyback on that real
Yeah,
quick.
yeah.
Gravity is actually a John Mayer song. I don't know if you've heard it. Gravity is working against me. You ever heard that? I don't know if that answers your question,
So,
brother. But
I mean, I did not at all answer his question, and you
I
nailed
think it was a confusion, like he was saying.
Yeah.
You know the famous John Mayer song,
Right.
Gravity,
right.
and then you know. So,
Yeah.
but I hope that either way, whatever you meant, brother, because sometimes it's hard to tell. I hope that answers your question, man.
Yeah.
It's been, dude, these are fun, man.
Yeah.
We like, honestly, you know, all kidding aside, I know, like, I feel like 90% of the time, like, my job is just kind of like goofing off, joking around, you know, talking about a little bit of this kind of stuff, and then you get some actual good usable information from him. But either way, whatever you're coming for, it's fun hanging out with you guys every Thursday night. So it was awesome seeing you guys. But yeah.
Bennett says chase flavor, not proof. Absolutely. And Island Boy Holdings is not a real estate. He's a trucking company.
We love truckers.
He does it right, he'll be on an island. That's awesome.
Lucky D said, ABV guy, you sure you're only 2 sheets in and not 3, brother? We won't know until tomorrow morning. With that said, signing off. We love you guys. So much fun hanging out with you guys, and we'll see you next Thursday, 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. If you're not following us on TikTok, Still in the Clear, and over on ABV Guy on TikTok, please go give us a follow. Thanks for hanging out, guys.